Mark here in the third row.
Kyle, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Nick shared with us earlier that he talked to you before the game, and there was a sign on the board that said, "Let it rip." Tell me what that meant to you and how you think you let it rip tonight compared to how you played the first two.
I think that was more of a message for the team. We shot 38 threes tonight, and we got up a lot of threes, a lot of attempts, and just played basketball. For me, it was just coming out being aggressive and not so being passive and trying to get everybody else involved, and more so get myself going and let everybody else feed off of that.
Michael in the middle.
Kyle, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. I mean, when you found out that Clay wasn't playing, did it really feel like this was an opportunity you guys had to try and take advantage of tonight? Was there that added urgency? Obviously, you want to win every game, but
yeah, I mean, when you lose an all-NBA type basketball player in Clay and an all-star, it definitely, it changes their team. But, I mean, Steph had an unbelievable game. 47 points is pretty impressive. But, we just went out there and did our job, and, I think we held them under 40% shooting. We played well. We finished the game, and we found a way to win a basketball game.
Standing all the way in the back.
Kyle, Jonathan Joe with Dia TV. You had a pretty big breakout game this third game, and the entire team of starters scored in double digits. What did you do to approach this game differently to really help this balanced attack?
Kept the pace up, kept our pace up, and kept going, and trying to get the ball out quick and getting stops and communication, and just kept playing. We know that they're possible. They always can make runs in this building, but we stayed level-headed. Just continue to kind of just keep going and going and going and staying in the moment.
Janie, all the way in the back.
Hi, Kyle. Janie McCauley from AP. How was it you guys were able to find an answer every time they hit a big shot or Steph got a big shot? Somebody came up with a play, and also I did see the fan shove you on the sideline on the court side there, and how disappointing was that moment for you?
For us, we just, we know that they're going to make good runs and make shots, but we watched that third quarter, game two, and we just got to continue to play with pace. And that was the one thing about it. We played with pace, half court, full court, and that was a big thing for us. And as for that fan, there's no place for that. He had no reason to touch me. He had no reason to reach over 2 seats and then say some vulgar language to me. There's no place for people like that in our league, and hopefully he never comes back to an NBA game.
Go ahead on the right side.
Anthony Snyder with The Athletic. It sounds like Kevin Durant's pretty close, and Klay Thompson may also come back in Game 4. How much over the next 2 days will you have to monitor that and almost, I guess scheme for 2 different teams?
We just got to prepare the same way. We're a real defensive-minded team. We know they got those weapons, but we got to just prepare ourselves to be focused on ourselves, and that's the one thing we've always done, is kind of continue to work on ourselves and work on what we can do. We can't control anything else. What the Warriors do, we just got to go out there and do what we can do to get better, continue to grow, and see what we can make adjustments on.
Tim, standing in the back left.
Kyle, Tim Reynolds with the AP. The finals is obviously, it was a new frontier for a lot of you guys before Game 1. And Nick, what he's gone through this year and the circumstances and replacing Dwayne and all that stuff's all been well covered. But how much has he impressed you at this time of year he looks like a guy who's done this a whole bunch of times instead of never before.
He got a lot of championships, in England and his G League. And, I mean, Nick, I know he looks young, but he's pretty old. But he's been doing this a long time, man, and his demeanor, like I've said this before, he literally yelled at us like twice this whole season, and his demeanor is just kind of, keep going and figure it out, and, all right, this is what we can do. This is what's happening, and his mind for the game has been special, and, the growth throughout the year has been pretty good for him. He's not a first-time head coach. He's a first-time NBA head coach, but the experience that he's had, in his many leagues and teams that he's been a head coach before, he's kind of stepped up and continued to grow with that.
Eric in the center.
Thank you. Eric Pingus, Basketball Insider's Bleacher Report. Kyle, the past years, your team has kind of hit a brick wall in the playoffs, and obviously you've broken through. Can you share how the team has grown together to fight through? I mean, even down the stretch of this game, this team didn't quit. How have you guys grown to meet those challenges?
I think we just added a couple great pieces. Adding Kawhi and Mark and Danny with their professionalism. I think their championship. Well, Danny's and Kawhi's championship pedigree. Nick's coming in as a coach that's won a few championships in G League, and we got Patrick McCall who's got a couple championships. We got a bunch of guys who are professionals, and we got a good veteran group, and we all kind of just understand that this is it's our job, and never get too up, never get too down. Teams are gonna make runs, and you're going to not win every game. You're not going to lose every game, but you can continue to grow, to the point to play, until June. And that was always the goal with this team, was to get to June.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Leonard and Green will be right up. Thank you.
Julianne Herrera, ABC7 News Bay Area. Questions is for you, Kawhi. To be back here for the first time on such a big stage since your injury, especially the finals, especially after what it's taken to get back here, how does it feel to get a win in Oracle tonight?
It feels good. I mean, I don't think about what happened 2 years ago. Pretty much living in it now. And I'm just happy we were able to get a Game 3 win, another step closer to our goal.
ESPN. Why was "Let It Rip" just the right message tonight for you guys on the whiteboard, and who wrote it, and how well did Kyle Lowry follow that advice?
I think we all kind of follow that advice, but it's just easier to look at that now and say it worked great for us, especially on a great shooting night. But it's been a while since the whole playoff series. We haven't really had a good team shooting night, and I knew eventually at some point we were due for one. So luckily we got one tonight, but we still have to do a better job defensively on the end of the floor to limit those guys better, so that we don't have to rely on our offense or our shooting to win games for us. But luckily it did tonight, and hopefully next game we can continue to stay warm and let it rip, and hopefully play even better defense.
Steve on the aisle over here.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Danny, over here.
I see you.
Shaquille O'Neal apparently offered some shooting advice to you.
He's a pure shooter. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah. Can you fill us in on what he suggested and what effect it had on your performance tonight?
Yeah, I spoke to him before the game briefly. He's always on the TNT set, and he was out there before the game. And every time I see him, he's giving me his pure shooting advice, because he was good at it. And but just the fundamentals, the small things. He's telling me to be confident and just hold the follow through. And obviously after a good shooting night, it's easy to see that his advice has worked. But he always just yells to me, leave it, and that's his way of saying, leave your hand up there, hold your follow through, and be confident in your shot. But he's always been that guy to me everywhere, or every year that we get on the playoffs or on this stage, where he comes over and tells me, stay confident and give me his shooting advice.
Standing in the back right.
Danny or Kawhi, what do you make of all this fan support so far? I don't know if you're aware, but several Raptors fans, dozens of Raptors fans rather, stuck around after the game, broke out a rendition of "Oh Canada," and I just want to know what your thoughts were on just all this fan support, people traveling all the way here to the Bay Area to support you guys.
I'll take this one since he answers probably a ton of them. But our fans have been amazing for us throughout the whole season, and in the playoffs especially. And the first two games, did a great job. We didn't hold our end up to game two, but we got to come back home. Hopefully, keeping them proud or make them proud, and hopefully up in the series would be great. But all around the world, there's Canadian fans. Surprisingly, that's one thing I've learned being on this team. A lot of Canada is all over, and it's kind of close. People from Vancouver may drive down, but Raptors fans are crazy, man. They're all over the place, and they come from all over the place to make the games, to watch the games, to support us. And we know how big of a stage and how big of an accomplishment it is. It's just us getting here, but we know the job's not done, and we want to continue to make them proud and hopefully give them their first title.
Michael in the center towards the back.
Kawhi, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. Going into the game, especially when you found out the Warriors are going to be without Clay. How important was it in retrospect to make sure you got this one on the road?
It was very important, but I really didn't find out till the tip-off started. They told us that he was playing tonight, and that was the mindset going out on the floor that he's playing, and it was a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure too. If one of the main guys not playing, they can still come out and get a win. Steph played great tonight, but it's big. I'm happy we got it. 2 wins away now, and let's see what this momentum carries us to.
Robert, Arash, Dan.
Right here. Robert Littal, BSO. Kawhi, when you have such balanced scoring from your starting unit, how does that help your game both offensively and defensively? And the secondary question that I had for you, I know you're not on social media, but I don't know if you were aware that your catchphrase, "the board man gets paid," is going very viral right now. We just wanted to confirm, is that actually something that you said?
I used to say that back when I was in high school and college. Just wanting to get to this league. It's about working hard, basically, outworking the opponent. Rebounds help you win games, big rebounds, offensive rebounds, limiting the team to one shot, and that used to be our motto. Some of us that were in college that was trying to get to this point. I forgot your first 2 questions.
How does the balanced scoring of the starting unit help open up your game offensively?
Once I'm driving in the paint, I'm kicking out to guys that making shots. The defense, doesn't want to collapse as easy. And, we just got to keep playing in a flow, really. I feel like we don't need to worry about me scoring the basketball. We all could score with the offense that we have. We just got to keep moving it. At times when I do have the ball, the offense gets real stagnant, and we just stay in one spot, and that's so easy to guard if you're defending us. So it's about just moving the ball, playing the team sport, and trusting everyone.
Back center.
Danny Arash with Sportsnet in the back here. You'd said before the finals, I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep shooting. When you started feeling it, that last stretch at the end of the third quarter, hitting the 2 threes within 22 seconds, and the end of the period hitting the other one, just how hot were you feeling at that point?
I wouldn't say hot, but I was comfortable. We had a good rhythm. We had a good flow. We had a good couple of stops to where we can run and get our transition, where we get some good uncontested looks. We got a few good looks, and they fell for me. I still felt like there was a couple of opportunities that I had missed that if I was hot, I usually would have made it. I had a couple of good looks after that, and maybe it was due to fatigue, but guys played hard. Guys made shots. We did the little things, and end of the day, like you said, the board man is the blue collar team. And these guys did all the little things we needed to do to get a win. And obviously making shots helps, but rebounding, blocking shots, Serge was amazing at running back, sprinting back. Guys were amazing rebounding. Pascal, Mark, they had timely buckets for us and had some timely stops and rebounds for us.
Dan, last question on the right.
Over here, Dan Devine from The Ringer. Danny, you were talking a lot about flow. Earlier, Nick was talking about pace and the importance of that.
Yes.
What role does Kyle Lowry play in getting you into that flow, developing that pace?
Huge. All year. That's why I love playing with the guy so much, because he's a big reason why I get so many looks. Him and Pascal, him being the quarterback, Pascal being the wide receiver, and when he throwing that ball ahead and the defense collapse, is kick out open looks for me. And when he's, Kawhi obviously penetrating, attacking the basket, transition, they collapse. There's some good looks for us. In a half-court set, it's a little easier to guard that and match up. But, Kalo's a huge, part of our pace, and that's why he's so. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, man. He does little things for us, even when he's not scoring. And tonight he scored well, but the biggest thing that he brings for us is that edge. He's a bulldog. He's a pit bull down there, and he's going to take charges. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to box people out. He's going to do the dirty work. He's a blue collar guy, and he's going to give us pace. So as much as people like to get on him about not shooting well, not scoring, It's not really his job. We don't need him to score as much with the guys we have here, with Kawhi, Pascal, Fred, myself on the perimeter, be able to shoot some. So, and if he does score, it's a plus for us. But it'd be great to have everybody continue to keep scoring, make it easier for us. But defensively, so we have to be better.
Thanks, guys. Staff will be right in.